At final level, I usually prefer English. Please excuse me for that. We will have Hindi discussion. Whenever there is a break, we will have the Hindi discussion. Okay, let's start with section 10AA. Before section 10AA, let me go to section year 1991. Year 1991 was a year of transformation for a country like India. In this year, lot of scheme has come to India. Many scheme, endless scheme. Actually, we have studied in economics few of them. New industrial policy, then LPG, liberalization, privatization, and globalization. So many things has happened, and these things were brought by Dr. Manmohan Singh. Please understand. And he was one of the successful finance minister India could have. We were blessed that Dr. Manmohan Singh was there in 1991. Because of his contribution, we are enjoying so many facilities today without even realizing their importance. If you talk to your parents about a day before 1991 or during 1991 to 2000, they may tell you so many stories that will be beyond your imagination. They will say, to take a telephone connection, we used to, we used to apply to BSNL, and BSNL was taking 3 years to 5 years, sometimes 10 years time to give the telephone connection. Okay, same was with the motorbike. If you wanted to buy a Hamara Bajaj motorcycle, then you have to give the order, then they will take couple of years to deliver you the bike. Okay, mobile phone was beyond imagination. Only few rich people, very rich people and military used to use the mobile phones. Ordinary people were not affording the mobile phone. So many things were imaginable. Highways, ports, airports, the way we are using it now, it wasn't in existence in 1991. After 1991, it began, and right now in 2021, we are almost a developed nation, but still a lot of development has to happen. It's not that every city is underdeveloped. It's not every city is developed. Please understand. There are cities which are underdeveloped. There are places which are not even having basic infrastructure facilities as of now in India. But there are places where everything is there. Road, airport, dam, metro, you just name it, it is available. Okay. So that kind of facilities we are using because government was making such a good policies along with income tax amendments. So Dr. Manmohan Singh has brought section 80IA in the syllabus. One of the beautiful section that we have in the syllabus. We had in the syllabus when you were in intermediate. 80IA. 80IA used to give the tax holiday period for 15 years out of first 20 years. This was the basics. 15 years out of first 20 years. So what do you mean by 15 years out of first 20 years? Year 1 is your year of incorporation. Maybe it is a difficult year. Ignore this year. Year 2 may be another difficult year. Year 3 may be another difficult year. But from year 4, you started making good amount of profit. Now, say for example, year 1 profit is 500 crore. So why are you saying in crores? Because the industry which is covered by 80IA makes this kind of profit only. Infrastructure, telecommunication, power generation, so many things, infrastructure related activities. So profit is 500 crore. So what will be taxed on the 500 crore? Zero tax. So why zero tax? Because whatever profit you have earned will be deducted under chapter 6A under section 80IA. 100% deduction for 15 years out of first 20 years. 100% deduction means if you have earned 500 crore, 500 crore will be deducted and the taxable income will be nil. Please understand this because this is the background for even MAT. Okay, MAT is applicable because of this kind of sections only. So this was the 80IA. Year on year basis, in one more budget, he brought 80IB, then 80IC, then 80ID, then 80IE. So many sections he has brought. Manmohan Singh, and then 1996 he retired as the finance minister, and then so many political changes happened in the country. I don't want to go into whole political story, but in 1997 P. Chidambaram was presenting the budget, and when Chidambaram sir was presenting the budget, he was very much optimistic about the country, and he said whatever Manmohan Singh has done till now, the imagination was good, but the realization has not happened. Whatever he decided to do, whatever he thought that India will become in 5 to 6 years, India has not achieved those kind of success. And therefore, if India wanted to achieve a real success in terms of industrialization and employment generation, we must focus on manufacturing sector. So we must focus on manufacturing sector, and we must address the issues which is faced by Please understand issues which is faced by the manufacturing segment. He was very much particular about manufacturing segment because agriculture is a primary segment. He said primary segment is already exempted. Let us not talk about agriculture. Service sector was growing at a very good speed in India, but service sector is the territory sector. Territory sector means this sector is a dependent sector. It is not an independent sector. The core sector for any country, if they wanted to progress, the core sector for any country is actually a manufacturing sector. If manufacturing goes up, obviously all other things can go up. Like transportation will go up, like insurance industry will go up, banking industry will go up, employment will go up, therefore many people will have money to spend, and therefore whole economy will go up. Not only that, agriculture producers can supply the goods to the manufacturing industry, and then manufacturing industry can give it to the domestic consumption, also for export market. Please understand. So directly or indirectly, India should become a manufacturing hub. After satisfying domestic needs, the India should become one of the exporter, and while exporting, India should earn the foreign currency. So why do we need foreign currency? Because RBI must have the foreign currency reserves. According to if RBI is having foreign currency reserve, according to the economic survey, India has taken more than loan from more than 160, 150 nations. So we are hugely indebted. Why are we indebted? Because we are a developing nation. We spend more than what we earn. Our balance sheet of an economy, balance sheet of a country is always in deficit. Deficit means if we are spending 10,000, we are earning only 7,000. So 3,000 or 3,000 crore or 3,000 lakh, whatever it is, okay, lakh crore. That much money we are taking from outside India as a loan year on year basis. Now we have to pay that particular loan. Now when we pay the loan, look at the problem that country is facing. When we have taken $1 as a loan, that time dollar was 30 rupees. So we got only 30 rupees. We have taken only $1 loan, but we got 30 rupees. Now when we have to pay $1, we have to pay 74 rupees. Now India is not paying only for interest cost. India is also paying for forex cost, and therefore we have to find out the way through which we will earn in dollars only. If we earn in dollars, definitely it will be easy to handle the foreign currency debt for the country. Therefore, India will always encourage export and will discourage import. If you study custom law, you people have already studied some points of customs law. You can see export is always encouraged. Export, there is no export duty in India. Okay, hardly few articles are subject to export duty. Majorly, whenever you solve questions or whenever you talk about customs law, you always talk about import duty. So whenever you bring goods in India, the foreign currency outflow happens. Therefore, government is putting higher custom duties on that. And whenever we export the goods, foreign currency inflow happens. Government encourage exporter and discourage importers. So by doing this, government is trying to manage foreign currency reserves of India. So one of the encouragement that P. Chidambaram wanted to give to the society, that we should bring such a place, please understand, we should bring such a place in India where a factory shed will be available at very reasonable price. Okay, not at heavy price, very reasonable price. We should bring such a place in India which will be attached to highways or maybe airport, maybe port. Because why say near airport and near port? Because this particular industry will focus more on export. This industry will focus more on export. Not only that, the industrialization is here. So we should also create a warehousing facility in that particular same premises. Not only warehousing facility, we should also have the transport facility. Trucks are ready for the transport of the goods in the premises. We should have 24/7 banking facility in the same premises, industrial bank. Not only that, we should have undistributed power supply and undistributed water supply for this industry. So many things we should provide to the industry, then only industry will grow. This was his thought. Now, budget 1997, you please Google out today. If you Google out, you will find budget 1997 is also known as dream budget. Okay, dream budget of India. In Hindi, we say Sapno ka budget. Sapno ka budget means a budget which is possible only in dreams, not in reality. And that was a negative remark put by many industrialists on India, because many people thought this kind of premises could not come. If Manmohan Singh did not do it, then nobody could have done for the India. This was the philosophy, this was the thought process, and therefore the share market on that day, or comments of the international media, including domestic media, toward the Indian budget was very much negative. Yeah, it was not happy moment for us, but still it was a very courageous moment of P. Chidambaram that he has brought such a concept, and he gave the name to this particular premises, which is special economic zone. Okay, special economic zone, and whoever was the developer of a special economic zone was given a special benefit under income tax law. And because of that, Reliance and Reliance and Adani, these two companies, Reliance and Adani, these two companies was very much interested into developing special economic zone. And even today, majority of India's special economic zones are developed by either Reliance or Adani. This is the background story I'm telling you. I have told you similar story when you were in intermediate. Okay, you were supposed to learn all this thing in intermediate. Just wanted to give you background because I have to teach you MAT and AMT. For MAT and AMT, I'm preparing you. Now, this had happened. Okay, SAGE was developed, everything was there. Factory share was there, warehousing was there, banking was there, transportation was there, but still industry was not ready to go there, because industry was ready. Industry was doing a lot of things in the wherever they are located. So if this is the normal area is known as the domestic tariff area. Please understand, normal India is known as domestic tariff area, and special economic zones are separate areas. Special economic zones are separate area. The balance India is known as the DTA. DTA means domestic tariff area. My factory was already established in domestic tariff area. Why will I shut down this particular unit and go to the CA? So in 2004, again in 2004, Government of India had proposed a new section in income tax law, and that section was section 10AA, which was announced on 1/4/2005. It was applicable from 1/4/2005 to 31st March 2020. Okay, so 2020 was the last year. Last year was the last year. 1920 was the last year when section 10AA was applicable. Right now in 2021, you cannot take benefit of section 10AA. Section 10AA have already died. The sunset clause has already hit in income tax law, and therefore you should remember, we are not learning for taking benefit now. We are learning this particular section. This section has become outdated now, but still we are learning, because somebody who have started taking benefit in this section will still continue to take benefit. This section gives 15 years tax holiday period, tax honeymoon period. So 15-year tax honeymoon period if industry, whoever is a manufacturer, they set up one more unit in sale. We are not asking you to shut down your domestic tariff unit. You can continue your domestic tariff unit, but you should put one more unit in special economic zone, which will be focused on export, So why would I start unit in special economic zone? So there are so many benefits available in the law. One of the benefit available in GST law is this: if you are producing and supplying from special economic zone, there won't be any GST, no GST. GST is providing exemption that we will discuss in GST, indirect tax. Second benefit, which is the most important benefit, is income tax holiday. Okay, income tax holiday. So what do you mean by income tax holiday? Income tax holiday means for first 5 years, from the year of establishment, for the year of commencement, first 5 years, whatever profit you earn from this export business, whatever profit, 100% of your export profit is allowed as a deduction. Please understand, 100% of your export profit is allowed as a deduction. So the next 5 years, that means from 6th year to 10th year. Okay, 6th year to 10th year, your 50% of export profit is exempt. 50% of export profit is not taxable. And after 10 years, please understand, after 10 years, your machinery would have been, almost depreciated, or latest technology must have come into. After every decade, new technology comes. Please understand, after a decade, after 10 years, a technological transformation happens. Right now, it is happening even faster. After 2 years, 3 years, we can have a new machinery in the industry. So they are saying after 10 years, there might be a requirement of, changing your plant and machinery. Therefore, from 11th year, for last 5 years, please understand, for last 5 years, that means from 11th year to 15th year, during this particular period, an assessee who is taking advantage of section 10AA will continue to take benefit of 50% of export profit. 50% of export profit is not taxable. If your export profit is 1000 crore, out of 1000 crore, 500 crore is not taxable. Export profit is not taxable. Or because now machinery is outdated, you need to purchase the new machinery. Therefore, you must create a reserve. You must create a reserve. So what is the name of reserve? Reserve name is SAED reinvestment. Say the reinvestment reserve account. Say the reinvestment reserve account. Assessee should transfer money to reserve account. Whichever is lower will be the exemption available. And whatever reserve is created, assessee should purchase a new plant and machinery from this reserve. Assessee should purchase new plant and machinery within a period of 3 years. Within a period of 3 years. This is the overall section. I told you in summary. Please, if you don't understand the section, or if I was too fast, you have to watch a detailed lecture, or you have to study at your own from intermediate module. Okay, in final module, they haven't even given any reference to section 10AA. Obviously, there will be certain section when 10AA will be utilized. There you should not be completely blind. Henceforth, I have taken some kind of revisionary mechanism of section 10AA, and I hope I have spoken majority points of section 10AA. 10AA provides special exemption for a manufacturer or a producer or even service provider, computer software service provider located in a special economic zone. For the first 5 years, it is 100% profit. For the next 5 years, it is 50% of the profit. And for last 5 years, it is amount credited to say the reinvestment reserve account or 50% of export profit, whichever is lower. So how do we determine export profit? By having cross multiplication. If I'm having 100 lakh rupees turnover and a total profit is 20 lakh. If I'm having 100 lakh rupees turnover, this is my turnover and this is my profit. If my total turnover is 100 lakh and my total profit is 20 lakh and my export turnover in this is 80 lakh. My export turnover in this is 80 lakh. How much will be my export profit? Can you please tell me how much will be my export profit? If my total turnover is 100 lakh, total profit is 20 lakh, my export turnover is 80 lakh. So how much will be my export profit? 16 lakh. So what have you done? Cross multiplication, simple cross multiplication. So what cross multiplication you have done? So total PGBP of the SAED unit, total PGBP means 20 lakh. Okay. Multiply by export turnover, that is 80 lakh, divide by total turnover, that is 100 lakh. Okay. So please understand this. Profit into export turnover of a SAED unit divided by total turnover of a SAED unit. This is how we compute export profit, and export profit multiplied by the appropriate percentage will be deduction provided under 10AA. Okay. Overall, we are done with the discussion of 10AA. There are certain small points I don't want to cover into revision. If you are having a particular doubt, please ask.